I don't believe in my hype, which is what allows me to not believe in the hate thrown towards me, which is the natural thing that happens when you get popularity and success as well. So it was actually very easy for me, Harry. Like, it was funny, I was with my college friends who I haven't been able to spend a lot of time with since I left because I've been working every minute and everyone's around the country, and they were at VCon. And it was just so awesome. Like, they were so pumped. And all of them, these are like 46 to 48-year-old men, every one of them. And these are thuggy, like my friends from college are from the hood, for lack of a better word. They were all, one by one, were really nice and emotional with me, like teary moments, one by one. There was about 5 of them there. Different times, one called after the event, 2 during there, 1 at night, dinner, 1 in the breakfast. They just like, it's really cool that you are literally, actually, exactly the same. And for me, it was like very flattering, but like very easy. And I'll tell you why. This is all DNA. All that money and fame do, Harry, is exposes who you actually are. It just accelerates your truth. You know, to me,
what if you don't like who you actually are?
Well, if you don't like who you, yeah.
Like,
if you don't like, yeah. If you don't like who, yeah, I mean, that's, what do you think, think about my content. My content is far more therapy than it is business, HBS. Like, this is all about self-esteem. Harry, this is all about self-esteem. And one of the reasons I tell everybody things, I try both things. I'm like, you have, like, don't, like, I try to get people to self-love themselves for like just asking them what's the alternative, or I love saying things, remember, if you think you suck, somebody put that in your head. Like, you didn't come out of the womb and be like, I suck. You think you suck because your mom told you you suck. You think you suck because your dad told you you suck. Like, that's, and then I try to get people to like reconcile that. And then I try to remind them that everybody else sucks too, so why are you beating yourself up? Self-love is, I'm almost using business as a disguise to try to help people be happier.
What would you advise me? I get a ton of DMs, comments, I hate you, you're a prick, you don't deserve it, you're young, you're rich, whatever. And it's like horrible messages, some death threats even in the past. Like, and it really upsets me. Like, I cry, I will be very sad. What would you advise me to not feel like?
Well, there's a couple things. First, I would ask you is, how much, if any, of it resonates with you as truth?
Not at all. They don't know me. It's random people.
Then you're really in a good place. Like, for me, one of the things I've liked about pushback, hate, negativity is I start with humility. Is there anything here? Can I take 2% out of, Gary, you're a fucking asshole. It's very hard to take something out of that. But sometimes I will probably be like, I'm really sorry that I trigger this, like, and like you can like talk about, well, you think you know everything. I'm like, no. I'm passionate and have conviction, which yes, can come across in video and audio that way, but rest assured, I don't know shit about 99% of shit in the world. I'm just staying in my very narrow lane of like sports and wine and market. Like, this is tiny. I don't know anything about a million things. That's why I don't talk about brain surgery. That's why I don't talk about meditation. That's why I don't talk about a million things. So there's that. So first I start with humility, then I start with compassion. Harry, if somebody actually, I know you've heard this in my content because I talk about it all the time. I do think having some compassion for those people, bro, it sucks to live a life where you actually want to tear someone else down. It means you're really unhappy. And you should just be happy that your life isn't about sitting around, finding someone on YouTube or Twitter or Instagram and sending them a nasty DM. I really go with empathy and like accountability. I'm like, is there anything right? Are they right? Am I getting too high on my own supply? B, man, I really feel bad that this is what they want to spend their time on. C, deep breath, reset. Like, there's 99% of the people, 86% of the people that are thrilled and it's going well. Let me focus on consuming positivity. Because I don't judge within short time frames.
Expand, what do you mean?
This is you're gonna like this one. The reason I don't struggle by losing my edge or being a killer by allocating time to personal endeavors, time with family or escapism, is because I don't judge my success or giving up an inch in the time frame of a week, a month, or a year. I am incredibly ambitious, but the frame of timing that I put my hopes and wants and dreams of my accomplishments is for the length of my life, not this month. So if the next 4 days I don't want to do anything, it's just 4 days in a 99-year life.
Can I ask, is that the result though of many years of success and finances being built up? Were you the same?
No, it's the reverse. Listen back to the interview. How the hell do you think I ever did the thing I did in the first place for my parents? I gave up my 20s for them. Because at 22, I was like, I'm gonna do this for 8 years. I used to think about 30 a lot. I'm gonna do this for 8 years, just give it to my folks, not give a fuck. Fuck it, I'll figure it out after because I've got 30 to 99.
Did you find it hard having to grow up so much faster than everyone else at 20?
I didn't know the difference. I didn't know that I was growing up faster. I didn't realize that my dad was gone all the time and thus I was the oldest son from the old country and I was the father figure to my sister and brother. I didn't realize that I was 14 and working 14 hours a day and that's probably not normal. We were such immigrants in our cocoon, I just didn't even know. And I also grew up in blue collar, like I didn't grow up, like all my friends worked at A&P making $6 an hour. I didn't grow up in affluence. So me working a lot, it wasn't like my friends were going to sleepaway camp or like Ibiza or the Hamptons. Everybody else was kind of doing, either sitting at home and being a good student or working at fucking McDonald's, you know what I mean? So I wasn't in an environment where I felt like I was the most extreme of everybody, but I also loved it. I loved being a business person.
That realization causes you to make a decision. You've said before that changing your mind is a strength. How do you know when to give up on something versus when to persist and fucking nail it?
Love that question. I like giving up on something when I no longer like it, regardless of the financial outcome.
Huh.
I try to capitalize against being content, satisfied, and happy, not maximizing the financial aspect of the situation at hand.
Does everything have a price?
And that, I'll answer that one in a minute. And that is the reverse of what people think. To your question earlier, most people think this mindset and who I am comes because I have money. Back to my college friends, I have money because I had the mindset when I had no money. It's the reverse. I knew that I was happy at 25, making $48,000 a year, buying nothing, so I could be happy forever, so who gives a fuck? Because making $1 million wasn't gonna be my happiness radar. And yes, everything has a price. Everything does have a price because the reality is, well, it's a funny game. Like, it's funny as I'm answering how I'm thinking about this. I'll give you an example. I'm answering yes, everything has a price, because in reality, I believe that. But I just thought of something. If somebody came to me and said, I will give you $100 billion in cash, but you can never work again. You must fully retire, meaning the cliche thing, must go on a beach in a very nice place and actually do nothing besides drink beers, walk on the beach, look at the sunset, fish. We'll give you fishing, which I like, kind of fun here and there, right? I would not take that. I would not take that. That would break my soul. I would die. You know how sometimes people lose, this is gonna land for you and Andrew's in the background here. When you see like an 88-year-old person lose their spouse and they die like a week later, and you're like, Grandpa died of a broken heart. He couldn't live without Grandma, but he was perfectly fine a week before. There's a part of me that actually believes that I have that with work. I've said this often, and it means you've heard it because you consumed a lot. It is my great hobby. Whatever anybody loves the most, everybody listening, whatever you love the most, skiing, sailing, fishing, basketball, traveling, frisbee, beer making, watching movies, whatever it is, like everyone listening and watching, stop, tell me the number one thing you like more than anything in the world. For me, that is being an entrepreneur. world speaks about so much negativity that I feel a requirement to talk about positivity, because what one consumes is who they become. And I'm very proud of my practical, optimistic framework. I'm optimistic, but I'm not delusional, and I'm not creating foofy 8th place trophies. It's like, hey, this is real shit, but we can do this nicely. And I beat that drum very aggressively.